through how to install Java and IntelliJ on your computer. This is going to be through a Mac. It might be slightly different for a PC, but I think that most of the stuff we'll be able to get all together. So first things first, we're in AP Computer Science, Google Classroom. We're going to go over to classwork, and we're going to go to view material, which is under first week, Java install instructions. So I'm going to click on this APCS LIB jar, and I'm going to download it. It's okay. I'm going to hit keep because there's nothing wrong with it. It's just giving me a warning, like, could be something we don't know. So don't worry, I'm not giving you a virus. All right, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to open this, and I'm going to use the hyperlink in here to download Java, the version that we want. So I'm going to go under JDK download. And as you can see, there's a bunch of different types. I'm going to use the Mac OS installer because I'm on a Mac. Use the Windows if you're on a Windows. Linux if you're using Linux. I'm going to hit keep again. Okay, and then I'm going to use my next link down here. It's bringing you basically to the same spot. Oh. I don't know why it doesn't want to go there. There we go. This one's the same too. All right, so, because I didn't hit apply. As we download this, we're also going to download the documentation here. Okay, and I'm going to accept it again. Then the last thing I'm going to do is download IntelliJ. So I'm going to go here to part C, which leads me to JetBrains. And when you first open it, it says Ultimate or Community. We used to use Community, but I'm going to try this year to use this one called Educator. So we're going to download Educator. And it's supposed to be pretty cool. I can create labs for you in this platform. This is where we're going to write our coding and solve our problems, but it'll allow me to give you guys hints off to the side and for you to have the labs all in this platform. So we're going to try this platform and see how it does. It's new as of October of last year, but so I didn't use it last year. So while this is still downloading, I like to make a folder here. I'm going to call it Java documentation. I'll put libraries and documentation. We're going to open this up, and I'm going to drag this zip file. I'm also going to drag this jar file over here. Okay, so I'm going to unzip the zip file. And what this is the documentation to the Java language that we're going to be installing in our computer. The cool thing about this is that we're using different classes in Java that have already been written. So I clicked on that folder called docs, and then I clicked on API. And our APIs, we're going to want to use them pretty often. So what these are basically are outlines of telling us what our classes can do. So for example, so then I can use this offline. So I'm going to open this, and it'll open in whatever the default browser for your computer is. And like, let's say I put in math, the math class. It's going to give me a bunch of different information. It'll give me the fields, which are here. It'll give me the different methods. This one doesn't have a constructor, so it doesn't give me that information. I'm also going to use array lists. And so again, we'll have, array list didn't come quite up. I clicked the wrong one. here we go. I want to click this one down here. And so it's going to give me the class here, constructors, and different methods, which are awesome. We're going to use these pretty often. Tell you the return type, it'll tell you the name, it'll tell you the parameters, and it tells you what it does. And then you can click on these different methods, and it'll be very specific about what it does. So this add method inserts an element at this position, and this would be the element that it puts in that position in the list. It's going to shift everything to the right and adds 1 to their indices, okay? And then we'll see, what does it return? This one's void, so it returns nothing. But it's just basically, you will learn more as you go, but it's important to know that you have those all over here and that you can open them and use them at anytime. You can be offline and still use them as well. So now I am going to, let's see, I'm going to open this in Finder. So here is my JDK, which is my Java. So I'm going to install Java. Click on this to install it. Okay, it's going to install the version of Java that I want to install. It's writing everything for me. It should not take you that long. Okay, so I'm going to close that. And I'm going to move the installer to the trash because I don't need it anymore. It's finally downloaded. What I'm going to do here is open it up. Okay. I'm going to drag it over to my applications. This part will probably be a bit different in on a PC or if you're running Linux. And that's it. It's already downloaded. It's already done because it's been installed. So I'm going to look here under Launchpad. IntelliJ is right here. I'm going to open it. I'm actually going to trash that. Okay. I do want to open it. So I'm going to say, yes, I do want to open it. I don't like notifications, so I'm going to hit don't allow. I might change that later if I don't want it. Okay, so I set this up. I think the first time you set it up, I set this up before. And so I think it just reminds me that I'm a teacher. So it will have something that says educator and something that says learner. Please click learner when you first do this. It didn't pop up for me, I think because I had installed it and I tried to uninstall it because I had issues with the sound. So you guys are going to click learner. It's on the left. I clicked educator because I'm an educator, and this will allow me to push labs to you. So I'm going to get you started on our first Java project, just so we can make sure that it's running. So we click new project. We are going to use Java. We don't care about any of these new frameworks. I'm going to click next. We don't need a template. We are going to click our own command line. So my projects are going to be stored in, I mean, if you want, this might make it easier. Actually, it's going to make it easier on me. I'm going to change this to put it in a desktop. Let's see. I'll make a new folder and I'll call it IDEA projects. So I'm creating a folder on the desktop to make it a little more accessible to me. I'm just going to do that right there. And so it changed it for me. My project name, though, is not going to be IDE. Hopefully they make a new folder for me. This one's going to be Hello World. And actually, maybe I'll do this and put / Hello World. I don't know if it's going to... Usually it creates its own file for me. Let's see. I'll just create Hello World for right now. This is usually the first program that we do. So let's make sure. Yep, it's in my hello world. Finish. Should pop up for me. It's preparing my workspace. Okay. So this is going to be a nice test for us to know whether or not this gives you tips, which is great. We don't need them right now. So it's going to give us a test to see if it's working. On my SRF folder, which is my source folder, I'm going to right click here and I'm going to write new Java class. And we'll call the class hello world. You do not want to put second, this is called camel case. The second word is capitalized, no spaces in between. I should have said that before. Please don't put any spaces in between. And we're going to leave it as a class. So here it gives me the class header. And then I am going to put, this is the main method. Makes the program run. Public static void. You will be learning it. Main string args. You'll be learning it and using it over and over and over again. This is just preference. I actually usually line these up like this, these curly braces, just so I can see them a little bit easier. A lot of other people don't. Sometimes they'll leave it here and they'll just see the other ones down here. It's just for me, like in case I'm missing one, I deleted one on accident, I can see it. It's totally up to you. I find it's better for me. Keeps me organized. So, it's my first program. I'm going to say system.out.println. In quotes, hello world. Okay. Now, when I want to run my program, which is always kind of a little bit tricky the first couple times, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click Add Configuration. Okay. And then I don't have a template here, so I'm going to add a new configuration. You go under Application. Okay. And now I'm just going to call it Hello World. It should show where my main class is. So, okay. In order for the computer to know how to run, it needs to know where the main method is. So I'm going to click here, these three dots. And if you have a main method correct, which was that public static void main string args, it will show you, hey, here's where your main class is. So that's where my main class is. I'm going to click OK. Click Apply. Click OK. And now, see these lit up because now I can debug. So I can see, hey, are there any problems? So I'm clicking that. It's going to tell me if there's any problems at all. I don't see any. Oh, it's building it for me. Sometimes it takes a second. And then I can also click Run. What running does is it tells you, it runs at the same time as actually, like it debugs it and then it runs for you. So look at that. Hello world, which was awesome. It printed to that's what we wanted. We wanted it to print to the, we didn't even have to hit the play button, but I just hit it again, the play button. And what it did is it printed out hello world. So we said hello to the world. That's generally the first program. So it means it's running. We have no issues at all. So you saw when I hit play, it gave me just a little bit less. When I hit the debug button, it gave me a little more info. Either one is fine, and it will tell you where your problems are. And let's say if I leave a semicolon out, that's an issue. It's actually telling me here in red that there's an issue here. So I'm going to look through it. It's going to tell me, oh, this semicolon expected. So I'm going to click on it. It'll put me exactly where I need to go, and I'll put a semicolon. Of course, you're going to have, and then I'm going to hit debug again. All right, or play again. Of course, you're going to have different issues, like more difficult errors, but that's basically how this works. So everything is working good. I'm ready to go, ready to code. Last thing I wanted to show you guys, sorry, I think somebody in my house is watching television in the background if you can hear it, but what I'm going to do is I am going to quit IntelliJ because I want to show you something cool. So yes, I want to exit it. Oh, you know what? While we're here, we might as well check our little hello world file. So we're going to open it. Hello world. See, if I open the SRC, there's the class I made, excuse me. So it might be a good idea here in your IDE projects just to put a folder, kind of just how I did. I created a new folder. It says hello world. Everything goes right there. We don't have to worry about it. I like my projects out here on the desktop so they're accessible to me. You definitely could have left the path file the way it was. Then you would just have to search a little bit more inside the computer to find it. I just want it out because I want it accessible. So I am going to open IntelliJ again. And so when I launch IntelliJ, this cool thing I wanted to show you, which is one of the reasons why I chose to use this year. Oh, I don't want to do this. I forgot. It opens the last project you did every time. So I want to, let me see this. I don't want to do that. I want it to start a new project. Let's see. So, how am I going to do that? I don't want to, let me quit it and run it again. I think I already did quit it, but we'll open it and see if it won't open Hello World for us. There we go. Okay, so I want to be at this welcome screen. It'll show you the projects that you've done on the left, which is nice. Okay, and then there's this cool thing. Mine says learn and teach. Yours is, I'm probably just going to say learn. But if you go here, there should be, see how there's courses? So you can, I can import courses, but yours should actually give you some courses that IntelliJ have for you. So I think they had one on Kotlin. They had a few when I watched the video. And these are courses that you guys can take if you, or you folks can take if you want. I think there's a class on Java too. It's just extra information and there'll be extra different labs and things for you to take if you would like. So it's just good information for you to know.